Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good morning to friends and business Salihan. So before I proceed to my speech, let's look at the photo. So I want to ask a question. If any of you know the man in the pink baju Melayu? Yes. So the man in the pink baju Melayu is our Prime Minister, which is Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim. And the other people in the right of you is the line of cabinet. A line of Malaysian cabinet. So I believe everyone here know about our Prime Minister and the cabinet, which their function is to rule and manage our country. So I have another question, which is, do you know how these people were chosen to rule and manage our country? No? I heard no and I heard yes. So the answer is through election, whereby citizens above 21 years old vote for the politicians they prefer and trust. But in 2016, Tarmah Pillai and Kira Yusri, students under the auspices of Malaysian Student Global Alliance, suggested to reduce the minimum eligible age from 21 years old to 18 years old. So today, I would like to persuade you to consider that voting age in Malaysia should not be lowered to 18 years old. There are many reasons to consider why voting age in Malaysia should not be lowered to 18 years old. So firstly, they have limited life experience. Secondly, they have limited knowledge of political system. And lastly, they are still not stable in education and career. So before I move to the first main point, let's watch the video.
Asians are turning out to vote today in a general election that looks unlikely to produce a clear winner. Opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim leads a coalition tipped to win the most seats, although polls predict he'll still fall short of the amount needed to form government. The country has had 3 prime ministers in as many years.
So the video I showed to you is the video of part of election. So I bet many of you are still clueless about this topic because I am sure that all of us do not have the experience of voting except for Mr. Salhan. So after I finish my presentation later, you can reconsider that why we should not let citizens under 21 years old, which is 18 years old, to vote. So Malaysian government lowered the eligible age for voting in Malaysia to follow other countries like China, France and United States. So this country allowed their citizens to vote starting from 18 years old. So Dr. Haslan, who is the Mak Laut Assemblyman, said that the problem other countries face is the young voters shows lack of political interest and they are easily influenced by radical politics. So this shows that Malaysian young voters also can easily be influenced by false news. So older voters have the experience of making rational decisions, meanwhile young voters tend to make mistakes by listening to other people comment about certain politicians instead of studying about the politics by themselves. So young voters are also easily to be manipulated by political campaign and propaganda. So another reason why we should not lower the eligible age to vote to 18 years old is because of usually they have limited knowledge of political system. According to Hishamuddin Baha, Executive Director of think tank Ilham Center, that interview with Undi 18 found that almost 90% were unaware about current political development. He said that most of them followed the influence of family members about politics and some of them relied on social media. Young voters are lack of political information because fair and up-to-date information about political education is not provided in school. So Nurul Rifaya Muhammad Iqbal once said in an interview with Malaysia Now, said, "My generation cannot even name politicians in examination because they portray politics as something that we should avoid." This shows that these young voters are really have limited knowledge of politics and can impact the ability to make the voting decision. Next, I will tell you about the last reason of why we should not lower the voting age. The reason is because they still not stable in education and career. According to the study of University Kebangsaan Malaysia, the average age of students range is from 18 years old to 24 years old. This shows that the young voters are busy with their study life, and even some of them are busy working in order to help their family, and do not have the time to read about the ever-changing climate of Malaysian politics, even though they have the access to such information. In this period, some of the young voters are also in the beginning of their career. So this means that they have less time or interest in engaging deeply into political issues. I hope I convinced you to consider that voting age in Malaysia should not be lowered to 18. Remember that they have limited life experience, then they also have limited knowledge of political system, and they also not stable in education and career. In order to have the best line of cabinet, the voters should be educated first and can differentiate between a lie and a real promise. So it is essential for us to wait for the young voters' readiness to handle the voting responsibility. Remember, measure twice, cut once. Means that double check your work for making a decisive action. That's all from me. Thank you.